I mean, some people kind of see it as part of being a pop star as being in the papers every day, but it's just hassle.
Or did they give you a hard time? They've been slagging you off and things like that?
No, not really, but I mean, we just feel, you know, if you kind of keep away from them, they're
it's trashy to read.
less interested.
No one, it's not interesting to read, you know.
It doesn't sell records at all. Sugar.
One, please. Yeah. So you don't think press in this country is helpful at all? All you need is like the good video in the chart show and
just needs
a good record.
Yeah.
The stuff they write in the national press, you know, it's so trivial.
Yeah.
You know, they don't ever want to know about your music or anything. All they want to know about is
what you're wearing,
what you're wearing,
what club you've been to, who you're going out with,
how
much money you got, and that's it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I spotted you being played on national TV in Poland in a station. Yeah, it was the only time I went to Poland. Okay, we were waiting in Warsaw, Main, train station. It was like a TV, black and white TV there in the main hall with loads of music on. And there was this pop program, and you were on it. And I was like,
oh, that's good.
Wow. You seem to be pretty big in the Easter country. I mean, you're playing Prague in front of 12,000 people. I mean, not many people are playing Czechoslovakia. It's pretty tough to play down there.
That'd be good. I'm really looking.
We've never played in the East before, so
no,
should be quite good.
So how did you manage to get so popular over there?
I don't know.
I think in Germany East Germany it's because, you know, the TV stations, which they can pick up the West German TV stations. And when we went to East Berlin last couple of years ago, we just went over there to visit, you know.
Yeah.
And these people come up to us, you know, and they'd heard of us.
We thought they were Westerners.
Yeah. Well, they probably are now.
I think it's just a kind of cult thing as well. I mean, if there's like a kind of a popular band that that hasn't made it kind of worldwide or something, people just adopt you, I think.
Well, but you, I mean, I don't know about the Eastern Bloc, but over here you are a very popular band. Although you avoid all the traps of the pop music biz, but I mean, you got the #1 with the previous album and everything. How much you try to get away from what the trash of pop music is? I mean, this new album is quite different from everything you've done before. Everything before was like, you know, really poppy and easy listening, I would say. This one's got more thought in it. Why this change?
Well, it's just because ourselves, really. I think we're getting bored.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to try sort of new things and stuff. And I think it was kind of about time, really, for us to try something kind of new. I mean, I don't think this is a complete departure from what we've done before, but it's kind of I think 100 steps sort of in the right direction for us. But I mean, we are a pop band still, but it's not kind of. I mean, we like to write good songs, you know, not just sort of pop for the sake of
selling records.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was told that this album for you is different in a way that you try to get a different range of vocals in it. What was the problem before? What were you lacking?
I don't know. I don't think we'd really concentrated that much before on keys and things. So we sort of tended to do the songs, and also I was singing very high.
Yeah.
For which I kind of think, although it's good exercise vocally, it's kind of, you know, once you start doing it live, you just end up screeching. You know, so really, it's kind of, we've sort of brought the whole thing down to a much more sensible level for me to sing. You know, and I think that really shows, because it's kind of, I don't know, you can just put much more kind of, I don't know, feeling or texture or whatever.
Yeah.
And and hopefully it will be easier to do live.
Well, was it so bad?
Not
Live?
so bad, but it's
It just gets so shouty, you know, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, when you're playing for an hour and a half or whatever, you know,
yeah,
for the umpteenth time, you know,
yeah.
and you get so excited and geared up for the gig, you know, come out shouting, you know, and by the second song, you know, tired out.
And once you kind of, you know, halfway through the tour and you're feeling really tired, those high notes sound awful. I mean, they kind of, it's like a parrot singing on stage.
Well, on the musical side, I mean, what's the difference from your side with this album from the previous one? I mean, I notice you have a lot of. I mean, your music has gone in the same direction. It's a lot more moody, especially like the last two songs. I mean, the piano song and the other one, Crown of Thorns. What got you to it? I mean,
I don't think it's anything, you know, we didn't like go out and say, you know, we want this album to be more moody. I mean, we wrote all the songs before, and certain melodies suggest certain moods, you know, which you try and kind of exaggerate when you do the music, you know. So, Crown of Thorns was a particularly, I don't know, to me it sounded very Russian.
Sorry?
It sounded Russian.
Russian.
You know, like a Tsar or something, you know. And so you just try and capture that mood, you know, using different. I mean, also, you know, I'm working with a producer called Mark Taunders.
Yeah.
And obviously he sees and does things differently to what I do. So every time you do an album, you're doing something different. You know, you're learning new things, nicking other people's ideas or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Did you use any kind of new synths or anything? Because the sounds definitely do sound richer and more.
I think there are new keyboards all the time, but also I think I reverted back to some old keyboards more, which I didn't do before as much, because I've just built my own studio.
Yeah.
And a lot of gear there which I haven't used for years, you know, which I really wanted to use, and I was able to this time round.
Uh-huh. Well, you're also, I mean, it's your own studio, you can play with it anytime you want.
You can play with it, yeah. You've got you can have like hundreds of things running at the same time. And also there's a lot more samples on this album.
Right.
So I'm not really into sampling really. I've never really been into it particularly. But Mark, the producer, knows a lot about it, so we did more of that this time.
Uh-huh.
Crown of Thorns is mostly my girlfriend's my girlfriend's bike.
Your girlfriend's bike.
Yeah. Push different sounds, you know, from
The chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything, you know. What were you going to say?
I thought you was going to mention that the soundtrack thing.
Soundtrack.
The voices on Crown of Thorns.
Oh right, oh yeah.
What's this?
No, it won't be mentioned as well.
Okay, alright. Is this album more personal? I mean, I noticed that lyrics-wise, the Innocence was like, "Oh baby, why did you break my heart?" and stuff like that. And this is a bit more sort of thought. I mean, like I don't know. You have the first song on the second side. It's like all about New York.
Oh well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's.
Yeah. So you know, it seems more like you get a lot more out of what's around you rather than just singing.
Yeah, I think it's
vague.
Yeah, it's to do with the singing as well. I mean, it's, you have to have things that you want to sing about, you know. And,
Yeah.
And
Well, wasn't it things that were interesting you before? Or
well, it was kind of more written. It was more throwaway before.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, this time I feel like we tried really hard with the lyrics. You know, I mean, maybe too hard in some places, but. I don't know. It was a really kind of conscious decision to make yourself interested in what you're singing.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully other people will be as well.
Yeah. Well, you hope, or it's because I mean, I always find that you know, especially in this country, you know, being so used to get all this trash, garbage, pop stuff that that is thrown at people all the time, they seem to be less keen on take other things that are more.
People like that just as much, though. I think. I mean, people love.
I mean,
having
do you
this
think
music.
people listen and to what you do, or they just stick what they think of you, no matter what you
They
play?
do. They do. I mean, a lot of our stuff is played in discos and clubs.
Yeah.
You know, the up-tempo things. And people, I mean, you're out of your head when you're at a disco, so you don't pay attention to the lyrics. I mean, and maybe just the hook line, you know, and get off on that. But I mean, we've got a kind of a big hardcore fans, you know, that go out and buy everything that we do. And I think with those people, they listen to it at home with their headphones.
Yeah.
So that's important, and to be able to read the lyrics at the same time, that's good. And for them to be able to put themselves into the song.
Going back to what I was saying before, it's more personal, this album.
Yeah.
Like personal experiences, or
Not necessarily experiences. There are.
I mean, New York
experiences.
sounds to me like that first song on the beat.
Yeah.
Says, "You surround me."
Yeah.
You seem like I mean, you've been a lot in America
Yeah.
on the circus tour.
Yeah.
And
I
it
do
seems
love
that
it there.
that sort of got you.
I do love it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that whole kind of. Although I would never live there, it's that kind of just being there and I don't know, just feeling the power and the immensity, not of America, but of the just the buildings and just the energy from the people, especially in New York. And I don't know. I mean, it is really a huge kind of dynamo there, you know. And you do kind of pick up on the energy when you go there. I mean, you can't wind down when you go there.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Well, I did, but
If you live there, if you
Yeah,
live there,
yeah,
you'd have to, because otherwise you'd go crazy. I mean, a lot of people are crazy there.
yeah. You went to number one with The Innocents on 2 occasions. You know, when you got out, and then afterwards when you released that 4-track EP, mini LP, whatever. Is the fact of going number one, what does it give you? Is it like pressure for what you're going to do next? Sort of satisfaction?
It hasn't done this time, because I think it was
You look
quite
around at
surprised.
yourself in the charts and you think, oh, what are we doing around all these people?
I don't know, it was quite a surprise, I think, for us that it did go to number one. And then going to number one a second time, I mean, I'd sort of forgotten about that, really.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because it's kind of been so gradual, even the sales on this album, because now it's kind of up to 900 or 1,000. And it's like, but, I mean, we didn't sell that many straight away, it's kind of just carried on sort of up and down selling, you know, so it's not really something that's kind of hit us in the face. It's been very, we haven't really noticed it, you know, but it keeps like clocking up. But I kind of get the feeling that if we I don't know, I hope that we don't realise how popular we are, you know, and to me it would be great if the new
It's
single...
not easy.
What?
When you got 12,000 people screaming at you in a concert, thinking, "I'm not popular." No, this
Yeah,
is
but
not
I mean
true.
that's just. But it is like that, though. I mean, it's not like that's only at concerts, you know.
Yeah.
No,
You
kind
completely
of.
the wrong conception about.
And what do you do anyway? I mean, even if you are popular, what do you do? Do you go around and say, "I'm so popular"?
Well, some people do.
I think that would be very harmful if we started doing that. I mean, I can imagine myself slipping into that, especially if with the new album, if that's goes to number one as well. And I can imagine like having at least 2 number 1 singles from this album, you know, and
I can't.
we will.
Unfortunately, believe me.
Yeah. So I think after that it's kind of, because when you do have a number 1, it's especially like in the singles charts, because a lot of people don't pay attention to the album charts, only the industry.
Yeah.
But with the singles charts, you know, if you're out and about in that week when you're number 1, it's kind of all like, you know, oh, here he is, and it is.
I'm supposed to be writing about.
It is.
Something like that down Westbourne Grove. An Indian.
No, Westbourne Grove might not be that hip.
But I mean, it would be such a great thrill, I think, even more so to be number 1 in the singles charts than in the albums charts, because it's much more immediate.
More of a trip.
I mean, then maybe we'd feel some pressure on the next album. And if this kind of album sells like 2 million or something, you know, it would be next time we're bound to kind of get a bit worried. And I know Vince will, and I will.
Him more than you, it seems to me.
Well, I think him first, and then me afterwards.
Worried about it not being successful?
Well, just worried about just doing it and repeating it again.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can't sort of. It's like if your sales go down, it's sort of. You know.
Well, yeah, it is pretty difficult to sound unique and different. I mean, how do you manage to? I mean,
I think it would be sad if we got complacent about it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with all the sounds that you hear around, all this sampling and you know, all this music that continuously is poured into the channels.
It's never a struggle though to make music like that though, because it's not because you know the thing that keeps you interested is the fact that you're doing something original, or you're trying to anyway. You know,
and I think
if we struggle to like try and think of new sound,
if we keep writing songs and keep writing enough songs, because that was the thing with this album, that we had 16 songs or 13 songs, so we could pick from them,
and then use the rest as B-sides, whatever.
Yeah. So if we got enough, and they're good songs, that's what's important, really.
I think that the next album actually, in a way, will be more work orientated, because you know we might be out of the country as well. We might record abroad, you know. And if we're recording abroad, then you've really got nothing else to do. You know? Yeah. And that could be inspiring.
Well, it depends. If you're in New York, you get a different sort of input in it.
Yeah.
But as far as having nothing else to do, I mean,
personally, I think that would really make me work hard.
Even with Spain, we're thinking of living in Spain, and I just think even being there, because it's such a different atmosphere and different kind of lifestyle. I think once you're there and you get into it and go out and hear what kind of music they're playing and stuff, and you're bound to pick up on things.
Yeah, different things. Yeah, you have a sort of Spanish song. Yeah. Is it dedicated to Speedy Gonzales or something?
Well,
Epa,
influencer.
La Gloria, yeah.
It's just that madness. Just that kind of. It's the imagery that we get of Spain from cartoons, like.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's actually Mexico, but. Yeah, that doesn't sound pretty funny. I was listening to it. I was thinking, what the hell is this? It's Warner Brothers.
Julio Iglesias, sort of like mixed in.
Is it? I mean, why did you get this thing? I mean, was like because it's your favorite cartoon, or because you wanted to take a piss out of something, or?
No, it's just the kind of craziness of being in a Spanish drag bar or something. You know, just the people. They're just like they just don't care what they do at all, and just that kind of, I think, Mediterranean sort of mentality, and they really just don't care, you know, and they're out for a good time. And now, because we're in Britain, it's sort of so kind of everything's, you don't talk about it sort of in public, and we're sort of like shy and things, you know, and you're not supposed to be vain and stuff. And over there, they kind of go and screw anything and dance in front of the mirror and sort of like, you know.
So you relate a lot more to the European mentality.
I would like to. I think I deny how British I really am.
Yeah.
You know, but I would like to relate to that.
Well, nothing wrong with being British, as long as.
I know. I hate it when people say to you, though, "Oh, you're so British." I hate it.
Yeah, you don't seem to like a lot of things about this country, huh? I mean, the press and.
You do, though.
Oh, you do. Really, you love it.
You can't help it.
Yeah. You've been. Sue was mentioning before you've been working with Happy Mondays.
Not with them. I did a remix for them.
Ah, okay.
I didn't work with them. I met the manager. Which is like we had a bit of spare time, so
That's out now, isn't it? That one.
apparently, yeah. But and they asked me to do a remix. So it was a great song, brilliant vocal. So,
Yeah. So, do you do a lot of these things? You know,
no, it was really a one-off. You know, I haven't done anything on it for years. It was quite good to do. It was very exciting to do.
Does it give you ideas, or is it just one thing you go in there and you just
No,
block your brain?
really ideas, because the thing is, the track was there. That particular track was there. It was already done. You know, the song was a good song anyway. It was just interpreting it in a different way. You know, and it was using electric guitars or whatever they had on the track already.
No, but I mean, like you know, this acid house music, these things.
Did you know what the band sounded like before you went?
Oh yeah, I've had mixes of the band of that particular track before. I mean, the tracks already sounded great. They were more traditional kind of rock kind of thing, you know. But I mean, it was no, it wasn't like I wasn't trying to do a house version of their thing, so I didn't really know what house was then.
Yeah.
Did you make it synth or just
Synth, yeah.
Why? Did you ask him a question because you don't know? Or
No, I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Oh, right. Was it like you work as two separate units and then you get together?
Well, we're pretty much together all the time, but we do get involved in different things. And then, and if it's mixing, I mean, and they ask for Vince to do it, I mean, Vince does it, you know.
Yeah. Then you
But
don't.
other things, we kind of,
If you're singing, I don't do any of it.
yeah. But sometimes we just did this thing with Lane and Lovitch and Animal Rights thing, you know, and they asked if I'd like to sing on it,
Yeah.
and I heard the backing track and thought, oh, I'd like Vince to do some work on this.
Yeah.
So I kind of blacked him into doing it.
Do you think you're quite complimentary?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't sort of.
I hate it, you know. When I was thinking of that, when I asked us to do that, I thought, oh no, Vince is going to start thinking that just because he's got a studio, I'm going to ask him to do all these things.
You get Pierre.
I'll let him use it, Vince, just for a
Yeah,
week.
that's
do
right.
some
Get off
demos.
my back, get him from the bank for a while.
I mean, does it ever happen like you two go into directions that are a bit too at odds, and you sort of try?
We do things. I mean, some things really. You know, if we do I did a Sylvester Memorial gig, you know, and they already had the band, and it was just like disco cover versions. So it's kind of, and I like bug Vince to do so many benefits. I'm sure it's, you know, you just get fed up doing them all the time. They're so disorganised, most of them. So you don't want to kind of ask them to do everything. You know.
Did you contribute a song to that?
So we contribute our bodies.
What was that? So,
For increase.
oh yeah,
What do you mean?
yeah. Just for the photographs of the modelling the stuff.
Show them even ugly people can wear this gear.
They were good. Did you see them?
I did, yes. Now they did a catalogue of clothes that they were selling for Greenpeace.
Alright, yeah.
They wouldn't just the model them.
Yeah. So they asked you to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't give any songs to that.
No, it was after the event. It was after
Yeah.
after the
I think that was really disappointing as well, though, because they weren't specially written, the songs.
No,
Just all
no. I
horrible
think it
things.
would have been a lot more interesting if they did something special for it. It seemed like a last minute package thing that they just grabbed the song here and one song there and got it together.
I think I bet that the reason they did that record was because they were trying to. There was some animosity between them and Ark. And Ark were grabbing the headlines.
Are you? I mean, did you just do it because you were asked, or you are interested in what Greenpeace does?
Joined that. We joined.
You joined. I didn't join.
You joined Greenpeace.
Yeah. And then I think they asked us because we said if you want us to do anything,
Yeah.
just ask us. So they did.
So you're gonna do if they ask you to do other things in the future, you're gonna be involved.
Well, if we can, I mean.
Yeah. But it's not something like that you get in your songs, the Green Party issues or
Not really.
or the problems of this world.
I mean, we do care about them, but it's.
We might do. I mean, we might in the
Yeah.
future. You know, I mean, you're always looking for subjects to write about
Mm.
all the time. You know, so
I think it'd be great to kind of, don't know, Greenpeace dinghy or something like that.
By Greenpeace, what?
Dinghy.
What's that?
A little boat, one of those boats.
Oh yeah. The ones they go to stop the whaling. Yeah.
Stop dumping. Oh, great though, actually.
No, they're amazing.
So hard.
Going back to what I was saying before, that you say you have a big cult following, people who have everything of you, and etc. etc. Is this because pop music has this thing of like getting they get a band right up there very quickly on the base of 2 singles, and 2 albums later usually is like throw away, they use you and throw you away. But you mentioned, and usually this doesn't this usually applies to very young audiences, and audiences that grow up, get fed up with it, and they're not interested anymore. But you mentioned a cult following. Is this because you had a slow start?
Yeah.
Because your first album didn't do that much, and
It's with a lot of those bands, they they first start off and they have like a couple of million spent on them, advertising them and hyping them up. And because we're with Mute Records, they haven't got the money to do that. So we can only sell records purely from doing live shows or from radio playing, because we didn't have the radio play on the first album. We had to go out and we did touring around the country, playing at colleges and universities and doing PAs at clubs. So I think those people that kind of saw us then, stayed with us, because it's really nice when you can kind of adopt a band before anybody else does. It's kind of a secret thing, and
you're sort of proud of it. It's like
people
you're
feel much more precious of you.
And
I think those people have stuck with us, and because it's such a good foundation to have, they kind of tell other people, and then you sort of like pick some other people up from a different area, through selling records and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people that have only got one Erasure single, because they've heard it on the radio, it got to number 2 or something like that. But I think it's really important not to have that hype, because for us it's pure work and off our own backs. So nothing that anyone has said.
Is it different in America? I mean, you've got Sire behind you over there.
No, it's the same.
Same. They don't put any money in.
It's the same,
because
to them you have to prove. You have to convince them to put money into you. So it's the same thing, really, because they didn't spend it straight away. It's like, and even now we've still got to wait and see what happens, and if we're going to be their next kind of band, because at the moment it's like the B-52s, and it's wherever you look and on the TV. And
well, they used to be 9 years ago, and then they disappeared, and now they're back.
But I think they just decided again, this is the project we're going to do now.
Yeah, they're on Sire as well.
So
those are their band of the month.
And it's a roster as well with Sire. It's always a list, and depending on where you are on the list depends on how much they spend on you. And radio play in America is still payola. And
they pay our money and say, "Can you play this for us?" But do you find it very different? Which is the system you prefer out of it? Do you prefer the European way of?
It's the same, really, because even in America, there are radio stations that play us because they like the music. In Houston and New York and LA, and they play us, and they play us even if they weren't getting paid. So that is still kind of a basis for us to build on, and as long as the record companies see that there's still people interested, and the album there. It's not in the top 200 albums, but it's selling 10,000 copies a week. So even that is kind of... it just makes them think that at least they're not going to be throwing their money away, or that amount of money anyway.
Do you get associated to Depeche Mode a lot?
Not really.
Because they're on the same label?
Depeche Mode are a rock group.
Well,
they are. That's how they kind of... It's a new kind of new age rock, isn't it, or synth rock or something.
Yeah,
Stage.
probably lately, especially this last compilation seems to me that they are
I'm sure they
gearing
wouldn't
into
be
a
mind,
more
They wouldn't mind at all being called a rock group.
Yeah.
They wouldn't, would they?
into a bit more of an arty sort of thing.
I don't know.
As
I
well.
think we're more arty than they are.